So the time has come to choose some downlights to install in this kitchen diner refurb that I've been working on, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to try out these new Prism Pro downlights from Ansell. They've got a lot of the great features that we've come to expect by now from Ansell, including push-fit connections, high efficacy levels and good fire ratings, but these ones come with an excellent feature that's going to help you solve two problems. The first one being the indecisive customer, and the second having to order lots of different variants of fitting, because these downlights now feature adjustable colour temperature. We're going to see these installed later in the video, and two of these fittings are new types in this range, so stay tuned for later to find out what they are and their benefits. Each fitting comes with a remote driver that plugs into the light source, and on the side of the driver there's a selector switch that will change the colour output of the fitting into 4 different temperatures. So you can choose between 2700 Kelvin, which gives you this lovely warm effect, or if that's a little too orangey for you, you can change it to a slightly cooler 3000 Kelvin, which neatly straddles the line between warm and neutral. Both of these values will give you a warm, welcoming environment perfect for relaxing. Now, because this room is a kitchen diner, we may want to change the setting once more to a value of 4000 Kelvin. This is a cooler white and can be helpful if you're trying to create a clean and stimulating environment. In a residential setting, that's great for a kitchen to give a bright and modern feel to the room. And finally, we can set it to 6000 Kelvin, which is a really cool white, often referred to as a daylight white. This flexibility is great because it means that if you're installing downlights to a number of different rooms in a property, you don't need to worry about ordering the right number and colour temperature of fittings. You can just order the quantity required for the house and select the desired colour temperature when you install them. Now, in this job, it could prove super helpful as the customer is a little bit changeable. I've recommended that the fittings in the kitchen area be set to a value of 4000 Kelvin to help when prepping and cooking, and the ones over the dining space be 3000 Kelvin to create a cosier atmosphere when eating. But they're a little bit worried that they won't like them mismatching, so I've said that if they decide a couple of weeks down the line that they're not feeling it, I can change them, which with the Prism Pro fittings from Ansell just means switching them off, pulling them down from the ceiling, flicking the switch to the desired colour temperature and putting them back again. So that's an awesome feature, but they also come in a few different variants, a couple of which are really interesting. Now, I've got 3 of these fittings installed up here. This is the standard fitting, which features the elements that we've discussed so far. There's also different finishes of bezels available, which again helps with contrary customers by giving you easily interchangeable different options, as well as offering a measure of future-proofing when people want to redecorate. As you can see, it's got really quick and easy push-fit terminals with the fast-becoming classic LENNEL terminals, including through connections for your CPCs. And of course, the cable retention and enclosure in one that you don't need a tool to close, but you do need a tool to open up again, which makes electricians' lives easier while still complying with the regs. Moving down the line, we've got the first of the 2 new types we mentioned earlier, which has an anti-glare feature. You can see that the light source is set a little further back into the fitting, and there's this black cone. Technically it's a hollow frustum, but I don't want Gary to take my lunch money again, so we'll stick with cone. And that helps to reduce the reflection of the light and thus reduces glare. So if you're working in an installation where you want to reduce glare, then this is the fitting for you. And again, the bezel and the cone can both be replaced with different colours either before or after installation, which again is helpful for future proofing. And finally, we've got this mini version of the fitting, which is just great because it's a 5-watt fitting giving around 450 lumens of light, although this will vary a wee bit depending on the colour temperature that you select. It's really unobtrusive on the ceiling, and again, the bezel can be swapped over for a range of colours depending on the application. It also has a really shallow profile, meaning that you can use it in roof voids that offer only minimal depth, and this is reflected in the arch shape of the driver, which allows it to just slip into those shallow voids really easily. There's also a tilt version of the fitting, which will give you a measure of control over the direction of the light, which could be useful for wall washing or highlighting a feature of the room. So there we go. That's the update to the Prism Pro fire-rated range of fittings from Ansell, and I think they're a solid choice for function, form and safety. I feel it's important at this point to state that I'm not leaving 3 mismatched fittings in the ceiling here. That was just for demo purposes, and everything will match beautifully once the install is complete. If you're interested in fire-rated ceilings and how Ansell can help you keep your installations compliant with both the wiring and the building regs, please check out our free training package on the subject to help you with your CPD. by heading to the Know How page of eFIXX.co.uk or clicking the link in the description below. And as always, we want to hear from you. Do you give a lot of thought to colour temperature on your installations? Will products like this encourage you to do so? And which of those colour temperatures would you probably go for? Whatever your thoughts, whatever your questions, please leave them in the comments section below. And as always, thank you very much for watching.